Inside every modern company, there's this huge, sprawling, and often invisible universe of applications. It's fantastic for innovation, for sure, but it's also a massive source of risk. So today, we're going to dive into how you can bring some serious order to that chaos by actually understanding your application landscape.
I mean, really think about that for a second. Every single application, not just the big ones everyone knows about, but those little specialized tools that one team downloaded for just one project. If you're like most companies out there, the honest answer is probably a shaky, maybe not. And that little bit of uncertainty, well, that's exactly where the risk starts to creep in.
It makes sense, right? As a company grows, it just naturally collects more and more applications. But if you don't have a clear map of this whole ecosystem, you're just left with this tangled mess. And this isn't just about being untidy. It leads to some really dangerous security gaps, super stressful compliance audits, and a whole lot of redundant software that's just quietly draining your budget.
This isn't just clutter. It's what we can call the modern application maze. It's complex, it's confusing, and honestly, trying to find your way through it by hand is a battle you're just not gonna win.
For years, the go-to solution was what? A spreadsheet, right? Some poor soul in IT was given the impossible task of manually tracking every single app. But here's the thing. That list is out of date the second it's finished. A team starts a free trial, a developer spins up a new tool, and suddenly your master list is completely useless. That old approach just doesn't scale. No way. So how in the world do you map this maze without getting totally lost? Well, the answer is to stop doing it manually. We've got to replace all that guesswork with smart automation. And that is exactly where automated discovery comes into the picture. At its heart, the idea behind discovery is actually really simple. It uses these things called connectors that automatically reach into your environment to find and identify every single application running there. You're not hunting for them one by one anymore. You're letting the system build the map for you. This whole process is really about one thing: turning the unknown into the known. It's kind of like flipping a switch that lights up your entire IT landscape, showing you connections and applications you might not have even known were there. This is what real visibility looks like. Okay, so the idea of automatically finding every app sounds pretty powerful, but how does it actually work? Let's get into the mechanics of it. The process is a pretty simple four-step flow. First, it connects to the core systems you already use and trust. Then, it uses those connections to identify all the applications. After that, it pulls out all the crucial details about each one. And finally, it brings them into your management process, which streamlines security right from day one. Now, the magic really starts with that very first step, connecting to your core systems. See, discovery doesn't work in a bubble. Its real power comes from integrating with the foundational platforms that are already managing identity and assets in your organization. So what are these core systems? Well, we're talking about your single sign-on or SSO providers. These are tools like Microsoft Entra, Okta, and Ping1 that basically act as the gatekeepers for who gets to access which app. Discovery also connects to your configuration management database, your CMDB, like ServiceNow, which is your official catalog of all your IT assets. It intelligently taps into the systems that already hold all the important information. And by pulling data from these sources you already trust, you create something incredibly valuable, a single source of truth. One centralized, reliable, and always up-to-date inventory of your applications. This becomes the solid foundation for all your governance and security work. All right, so you've done it. You have this complete, automated view of your entire application landscape. The big question is, so what? What does this visibility actually let you do? Let's look at the real-world benefits. This visibility unlocks a ton of key benefits. You get deep governance, which means you can apply consistent security policies to all your apps, not just the ones you knew about. It enables quick compliance. Audits that used to take weeks of painful work can now be done in minutes. You can strengthen identity security by making sure every single entry point is known and managed. And by integrating with your service desks and creating shared signals, your security and IT tools can finally start working together in a really smart way. Ultimately, it all boils down to this one core goal. It's about deeply understanding what you have and then making the process of managing and securing all those systems as simple and efficient as it can possibly be. It's about taking back control from all that complexity. Which brings us to the fundamental truth of security in the modern world. In a world where our digital footprints are just getting bigger and bigger, visibility isn't just a nice-to-have. It is the absolute bedrock of your entire security strategy. Because after all, If you can't see it, how can you possibly secure it?